wanted to talk real briefly about that spacewalk, and I know, Luca, you had some tense moments there. Can you guys talk a little bit about what happened there?
I think that for a couple of minutes there, maybe more than a couple of minutes, I experienced what it's like to be a goldfish in the fishbowl from the point of view of the goldfish. So about half an hour into the EVA, 45 minutes maybe, Chris and I were ahead on our task, so we were starting our third task, and I felt some water on the back of my head, and I realized that it was cold water. It was not a normal feeling, so I told ground. Chris came by to give it a look. He couldn't see anything. He took some pictures of it, but it wasn't until a couple of minutes later that we actually saw the water trickling in the front of the helmet, and then I felt it covering my ears. And at that point, we called the terminate for the EVA. I started going back to the airlock, and the water kept trickling until it completely covered my eyes and my nose. It was really hard to see. I couldn't hear anything. It was really hard to communicate. I went back using just memory, basically going back to the airlock until I found it, and then went inside, and Chris was there in split seconds to come inside, close the airlock, and repressurize. Karen was already there, ready to repressurize. Our Russian colleagues were all there to help, and as soon as the two compartments were equalized, they doffed, meaning they took off my helmet, wiped my face from all the water, about 3 pounds of water, I would say, and that was the end of it. For me, the worst part, as Chris mentioned, I was miserable, but okay. It's just imagine walking around with your eyes closed in a fishbowl. Really, that's what was going on at the moment. It's just a very uncomfortable feeling to be with your face underwater for all that time. But the reaction of the crew was outstanding, I think. The crew on the ground and the crew on board. Chris really supported me, and I was just lucky to be back inside in no time.